Well, he almost scored with his head. That would have been the real icing on the cake.
Roy, Joe Bernstein man on Sunday. Not many people in this room would have given you a prayer. Did you actually travel up really thinking you could get something from the game?
I travelled up thinking we could give a good performance. Whether getting something from the game was always going to be a tough ask because I have such a strong team and such a strong bench, and of course as our players were tiring and were going to tire, I was always aware they might just bring on players of the quality that they brought on. But we certainly didn't come up here thinking we had no chance or that this is a game that we need to write off because we haven't got a chance of getting a result. We never thought that for 1 minute. But what we did think was unless we produce a performance of that quality, discipline and work rate really as well, then we wouldn't have much of a chance. And luckily today the goals fell for us, on the counter-attack in the first half after going 1-0 down. We were able to score 2 good goals, and that gives you something to cling on to a little bit and makes life that bit harder for the opposition, even if the opposition's as good as Manchester City are.
Excuse me, just here. Yeah.
I could probably hear you anyway. Yeah. Otherwise, my man here's going to be struggling here, running a marathon.
Sorry, I was right.
I've just done an analogy on the Tour de France. Now I'll be doing one on a 400-metre race in a minute.
Andros' goal was obviously fantastic, but he also had a huge impact on the game with the ball and off the ball as well.
Well, he almost scored with his head. That would have been the real icing on the cake. I mean, we got the penalty as a result of it because Mayer was fouled after the ball rebounded from the post. But the real icing on the cake wouldn't have been the volley, because I think Andros has always got one of those in his locker somewhere along the way. But the powerful header, if that had gone in, that would have really made me happy. But his performance in general was excellent. Really excellent. But that goes for quite a lot of players.
Okay, gentleman there.
Nick Katuna from New Shopper.
From?
New
Shopper.
Oh, sorry, I don't know that one, sorry. I should pay more attention to these newer newspapers. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
In terms of results, where does that rank for you, being Man City in the form that they are?
Well, it rates very highly, but it still probably doesn't rate as highly as the one many years ago, which kept Fulham basically in with a shout of staying in the Premier League. It didn't keep us in the Premier Division. It's just that 2-0 at half time, had that result stayed, and even if we'd have pulled it back to 2-2, we were relegated. As it turned out, we won the game 3-2, which was a deja vu situation we liked today, and then went on to take, I think it was as many as 12 points from the next 15 or 9 from the last 12 and keep ourselves up. So I suppose that will always be foremost in my memory. But I must also say that the Manchester City that we beat then weren't anywhere near as good as the Manchester City of today. We're looking at the champions of England here, and quite conceivably the future champions of England too, because I think they've got such a good team, I think they've got such a good squad, and they have such enormous discipline and concentration and focus. They don't just rely on the talent of their players. They're organised, they're disciplined, they're focused, they work so hard. When you play them and you're trying to present to your players, right, these are the weaknesses, this is where we can get at them, there aren't many.
Okay, this gentleman here.
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Most teams who go a goal down here, that's pretty much getting over, Roy. I mean, one, when the first goal went in, did you fear the worst? And two, what was different about your performance today? How come you didn't fold like so many teams do here when you go a goal down?
Well, we haven't folded. I've got to say, I don't think that I'm in charge of a team and a squad that folds. There's been games where you'd hope to see something a bit better, especially in terms of our taking goal chances. But there's not been many times when I've actually been sat here at the press conference where I can honestly say that I would agree with someone who says your team folded, your team didn't work hard enough, your team didn't show the desire to stay in the game. That's not been a problem for us. Today it's one of those bonanza days where you get your work rate as it should be, you get your shape of your team, your structure and your discipline as it should be, but then you also score the goals. That was so important for us. to score 3 goals away from home against a team of this quality says a lot, and it makes you wonder where they've been up to now, but now hopefully they'll flow.